welcome to Ifelunow TV. It's Cherie, my hostess, Tanya, Shay, Maria, and Becky. And today we're talking about, are you living your dream or have you been in vehicles that are taking you to your dream? So we're going to start off today. I want to reintroduce everybody so you guys know who we are. So today, I'm Cherie, and this is Tanya.
Hello, and I am Boss Lady from, formerly from Boss Management Group. Also have been on ESPN Charlotte and just been magnificent. How about that?
Yay, that's all right. Shay. Hi, everybody. I'm Shay, and I was formerly in the professional world as a pharmaceutical salesperson, and now I own my own nonprofit company.
Hi, I'm Becky, and I have a background in broadcasting, and I've been in the beauty industry for many, many years, but my number one love is being an artist. I'm a painter, and I love to do artwork, paint whenever I can.
Maria? Hi there, I'm Maria, and I have been a makeup artist for 15 years, and I've also done films and industry in Los Angeles. I actually moved from Los Angeles to North Carolina, and I have competed in fitness for 10 years, over 10 years.
And she is a bodybuilder.
So
Yes, honey.
She got
some guns.
Go ahead.
Girl.
Show what time it is.
And she's very modest, but she's also been a makeup artist for BET. So we have just a great group here, just a lot of powerful information. But we're just going to start it off. You know, a lot of times you have people in your life, whether they're friends, peers, co-workers, or just maybe clients, and they really think that you have kind of arrived or you're already in your dream, and they kind of box you in. Some people want to hold you to that one thing because that's all that they see you doing. But in your mind, you're nowhere near your dream. You're still working on it. Sometimes you don't even know what your dream may be because your life has changed so much. So when we're thinking about these things, we think about marriage, we think about families, we think about having careers or children. Everybody has different types of dreams. When I started off, when I first was married, I really thought that, it wasn't quite my dream, but it was like a dream idea that how my life would be like my parents, having a white picket fence, being married for 60 years. And, it just didn't quite turn out like that. So I had to re-pick myself up and start all over again to find out who I was and keep moving on my journey. So what about you ladies? What was your experience?
Well, my experience was not quite like yours because I did not, and I had to think about this when this topic came up. I really never, as a youngster, had a dream. I just moved forward in life not really knowing what I never had an idea of really what I wanted to do. And, sometimes I guess that can come from your upbringing, things like that. But I really didn't realize what my real passions were until I hit about my 40s.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it's very different for me, but I'm sure that there are people out there who are like me. But as a teenager, I didn't think about it.
What about you, Shay?
Well, I was raised in a family where you pretty much knew you were going to college. There wasn't a thought that you weren't going. So you were preparing to go to college. Now where you went, you had some sort of say in. But you were going to college. You could pretty much major in what you wanted, so I knew I wanted to be a business major. But as far as what I wanted to do, I didn't know. And I think with that being said, to segue a little bit off of me and talk about a lot of college students these days, a lot of kids go to college and they have no idea what they want to do, who they want to be. And so I think if we as parents, especially we as women that have children, and most children now are raised in single parent homes, and most single parent homes are led by women, I think we should look at our children and teach our children what they're good at.
Yeah, and that's what they do in Europe.
Right. And what then take what our children are excited about, and then when they go to college, tie that in with their education. So that way they're not wasting money, and they're doing, because it's expensive to go to college.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good point, Shay. I think that growing up for me, I really knew that what I loved to do was drawing pictures, and I continued to do that. The problem, though, with that was that I was trying to think ahead and think, how will I incorporate that love with something that I could support myself with? And that's still an age-old problem with artists, but I went to college and I chose a kind of a generic background in communications, which would allow me to work in any sort of a business, because everybody needs communications, need to know how to communicate with employees or investors or customers. So I was happy I chose that, and I guess going forward was to combine that experience with what I really loved to do, which was artwork. And along the way, I've had a couple dreams that I have reached, but I also find that my dreams change as I go through life. My dreams change. I've achieved some, I've tweaked some, but the important thing for me is always learning, always keeping on going. I don't think I'll ever reach all of my dreams, and that's okay. I like that.
For me, it was tough because, let me see, I've always wanted to be a model when I was young. Always wanted to be a model when I was young. I always wanted to play with makeup. And my father actually didn't like me playing with makeup, so every time that I would wear makeup, he would give me and my sister, we would get in trouble and get spanked, basically. Because the parents were really strict. And then later on in time, after my second marriage, I actually got into a bodybuilder. And then I started competing, and for me, I felt like fitness is my passion, but the makeup thing did not stop me. So for me, I know that's one of my passion, and I followed it, so I just didn't have a lot of support, because you can do something that you want, but if you don't have any support, you're standing alone. Even at that, when you want to achieve certain dreams, it involves a lot of money. So no matter where you want to go, and if you don't have any money, it will take you a while to get to where you want to get to be. So what I did is, for me, the makeup is my passion. So moving from San Francisco to Los Angeles, I actually achieved my dreams, which is to become a makeup artist in the industry, BET assistant makeup artist for a series show, and I'm still doing my makeup. I still did my competition last year, 40 plus. And moved to North Carolina, and this is my show.
I'm so glad we met. It's amazing when you think about the Sidetrack, the little detours that happen. You have somewhat of an idea, or maybe something that you like to do. I know my cousin was big into getting married. I mean, that was her whole. We were in high school, and that's all she talked about. Like, she looked at all the bridal magazines, and I just thought, okay, that's nice, but I'm trying to do a career. It's like I wasn't even thinking about marriage.
Her career was marriage.
Yeah, and my parents, I was spoiled because my parents were married. They've been married for 60 years, and so I just thought that's what you do. I thought it was easy. I was looking at that white picket fence, and I thought that, well, you just do that when you have time, but I'm going to do a career. So I didn't totally know what I wanted to do. I love design, so I used to like to make fashion design and stuff like that. And I ended up going to school, East Carolina, USCG, for fashion design, and I finished. But in the process of going through that, at that time, which was, many years ago, because I'm 52, so you can imagine, I was the first AutoCAD computer class. They were figuring out how to do AutoCAD. But at the time, I was very, very creative, and they were still too structured. So I find myself going into entrepreneurship and finishing college, but I still, in this building, as a matter of fact, where I met Shay,
Yes.
I was doing a business because I had a passion, you know, for the beauty industry. At the time, I wasn't doing makeup, I was doing nails and things like that. But, you know, that kind of led me into the makeup and everything else. But it's all about, you know, trying to keep from being deterred from your passion. While I was in school, I had a teacher that literally destroyed my internship. Just because, unfortunately, I was a person of color. And she was shocked that I had got this internship, one of only 2 people. And it was a major internship, so they undid the internship. And I'm just being transparent. Because I want you to know that no matter what happens to you, you got to keep going. You don't let one thing stop what you're doing.
That's right.
So what about your experiences? You know?
Well, I can talk about one thing that definitely got in my way after I went to school and went to, I started out as a banker.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And I was fortunate enough to graduate from college with a job in banking. Now, I don't know how many of you can see me as a banker. Can you?
Yes, of course.
You
Don't let the
can.
mirror fool you, girl.
Oh my God.
You enjoy it?
I was the most miserable person in the entire world. But I was grateful to have that job. So while it was not my dream, it was a path that I had to take to get to my dream. And I think that's something that you all need to know out there. You are not going to get to your dream job just like that. You're going to have to start somewhere. It doesn't happen overnight. You may want to be the next Cherie. You may want to be the next Marie, or the next person sitting at this table. But it doesn't start overnight. Because first of all, you have to grow and gain a lot of experience, you know, and in order to work with people at BET, you have to be able to you have to be able to bring something to the table. So while I was at the bank, I was gaining experience to take me on the road to that interview where I could do pharmaceutical sales. So I was doing sales in banking, but I wasn't quite ready yet for pharmaceutical sales. So don't get discouraged if you don't have that job yet that you want, and don't treat that job with disrespect and disdain.
Yes.
Do the very best that you can while you're at that job, because you just may need that referral to get you to where you want to be. So I would say that.
Well, my experience, like I said earlier, was a little bit different. So for me, coming out of high school, I was given the choices of college or military. I tried both, and neither one seemed to work for me. So I ended up being a mother, and then I ended up being a wife, and then I ended up being divorced, and then I ended up trying to figure out, you know, what was the next step. But during that time, even in high school, I was in the choir. And at that point, I think that's where I determined that I was able to sing.
Ooh.
So, but when you don't have that support from family and people, right, exactly. You don't have that support, you really don't know that this is something that you might be able to achieve.
That's right.
And so, even though I did it, and I did love singing and you know, being in the choir, but it didn't go any further than that for a while, you know. And then I got with a girl group, and you know, we did a whole album. I mean, I loved it. Being in the studio, you know, singing. I would work all day and take my son. We all had sons. We had one son. And so we'd bring our sons, and they'd sit on the couch because we were in somebody's basement, you know, and, you know, I was able to, that's where my creativity started to ramp up. but I still didn't have anybody say to me, hey, you know what I mean? Like
You need
this,
someone next to you.
yeah, that
you,
can push you and tell you, hey, you know, this right here, you can go somewhere
Like
with
salt
this.
and pepper.
Yeah, you know, I didn't have that. And at the time, we could have made it too.
Right,
Because
right,
we
'cause we
came
would've
out
been salt
right
and
at
pepper
that
right
time.
now.
We would have
Would've
came
been
out at
salt
that
and
time.
pepper. Yeah.
But, and then, you know, I just kind of went through life with those blinders on and, you know, just looking forward. And, you know, and then started our company. And from there, got back into the music industry. And then here I am in my late 40s. And we're back into the music industry. And, you know, I was executive producer of the video that we did. And I loved it. And, you know, and then I realized fashion was always my thing. Because when I look back at my pictures, I could see the way I dressed. I would be pulled a lot of times for modeling shows.
Oh.
But they told me that I was too short to model. So they killed every time I was headed somewhere, somehow something happened. Even with the music, with the group, the manager, you know, it went a bust. So, you know, what I say to people who don't have the support is to keep on pressing. And now it's really great because now they have social media that can help them. And you don't have to, other people will support you when you don't have that support from people that are right by you, because family is not always just the blood running through your veins. So, yeah.
What about you?
I want to know the specific question, actually.
Well, you know, basically we were talking about, we're basically, you know, talking about the vehicle to your dreams and, you know, on the way to the dream, or if you got the dream, you know.
I mentioned earlier that, you know, my experience in my career was always based upon a position where you are in charge of communicating. So that involved writing, it involved speaking, it involved speech writing, a lot of different trade shows, setting them up, taking them down, but working them too. So again, that was a really good background for me because it can be used in anything that you do.
Yes.
All the time I kept up my love of doing my own artwork, and I guess one of my dreams when I was little was to be able to actually draw pictures for Hallmark. You know, do like work for Hallmark or something like that,
and that was so possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was just, like you could have reached out and touched it.
Yeah.
You know.
And yet, for me though, I don't come from a family that. I mean, we were the first to go to college in my family, and my mom and dad worked really hard all the time. And again, for me, it was trying to figure out how to make that college count, how to make sure that you could get a job after college and be good at it. And, you know, so, you know, it's been a long time since I went to college too. But I am really happy with the way that my life has turned out. As far as dreams, one of the dreams was to have children. I have two beautiful children who are grown now. They're young adults. I was married too. I had a really fun marriage.
Well, that's always good. It ain't that bad.
Fun is always
What's a learning curve? A learning curve.
Now I have new dreams. Well, all right now.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
How about you, Marie?
Yes, Marie. What a wonderful segue.
Yeah, that was good.
I think we're talking about something too personal here.
Not us.
So let me just tell you, I didn't graduate. My parents did not afford us to go to college.
Right.
I have a brother and my sister. Let me tell you, my sister, she works for Kaiser 25 years.
Ooh.
My brother, he works for Fortnite HR, making $150,000 a year.
Ooh, wow.
Okay, he went to college. I didn't. I was the oldest one. I had children when I was probably my first one 20 years old. I think what it is I started reading this book actually. Have you guys heard of What is the Purpose of My Life?
Purpose-driven life?
Purpose-driven life?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I've been reading it pages by pages. I'm trying to analyze where I'm at now. And I think I was just sharing you this earlier, that if you can see your life 10 years from now, if you have that road to take or this one, you would take the right one because you don't want to mess up. Okay, because we have mistakes. But I never had support. I've been wanting to do makeup. I had an ex-husband that wasn't there, always doing his thing, leaving me with the kids, taking the kids to school, taking them everywhere. It's always just me. So I felt like I'm a single mother.
Yes.
Right.
So, all right, with marriage, could you guys work things out? Maybe meet me halfway to like, you know, you gotta be a parent and be a team. But I just felt like I was doing that alone.
Right.
So what did I do? I gotta move on. I gotta go.
Right.
Took the kids. Now I'm with someone that supports me.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
loves me,
Yeah.
pushes me,
That's good.
encourage me, and to me that's everything.
Yeah.
You can't, I mean everybody needs help. You cannot do it on your own.
Yes.
Right.
When I say need help, it's because some of us, like me, I am very passionate. When I want something, I get it.
Right.
When I want
I like
somebody.
that.
No, when I
You gotta go after it.
want